Okay, so just what is up with Octa? It definitely isn't the price, but honestly, that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me with all the positive developments in play and the level of communication they've been putting out. So in this video, I'm going to do an update and a status report on Octans based on what I know. And if you know something that I don't, please drop a comment below and let us know what you think is going on. And be sure to watch until the end because I'm going to show you and share with you something that is going to really hit home with exactly where I think this project is going. So, hey guys, Jeff here on the CC Mentor channel, your cryptocurrency coach and mentor. And whether you're brand new to the cryptoverse or you've been around the space for a while like I have, I'm here to help you navigate this crazy space, dig up possible opportunities, and just generally share my view of the crypto market in an effort to really help you to profit. And occasionally, I go on a philosophical rant too about how I see things in this amazing world of digital assets and, well, sometimes just how I see the world. So if you enjoy the content, I really appreciate you punching that like button, subscribing to the channel, and I'd love to have you drop a comment to share your own views. And remember to hit that bell notification as well so you can get notifications of future videos when I put them out. And by the way, real quick, I just started to notice scammers posing as me in the comments below, in the comments on my videos, offering contact on WhatsApp or something like that. So beware and be aware. It's a fake profile that looks like me. I'm never going to offer you some sort of a phone number to call or ask you to invest in something or ask you for money online. And you should never give your money to some stranger online. So I'm sure you're already smarter than that, but I'm flattered that somebody thinks I have enough of a reach already on the channel. But wow, I mean, pay attention and be careful because it can be a little deceptive, especially when I'm actually in the comments interacting with you guys, which I do on a regular basis. So with that, let's get into it. So guys, Octa. It's one of a few different projects now that are adopting the same or a very similar model. And it all started with SAFEMOON. And now there are many of these types of coins out there. So this genre, what I've been calling the moon coins. They're deflationary coins where the supply starts off really high, like a quadrillion coins. Yeah, yes, that's a real number. It's not like a gazillion. It's a 1 with 12 zeros after it. And then they burn roughly half those coins in the early stages, and then more coins are burned every time people sell or make a new deposit. And the percentages vary on that, but they all have more or less the same model or the same or similar characteristics. So some of them, in an effort to stop the pump and dumpers from crashing the coins, have put some limits on withdrawals without pretty good sized penalties. And, you know, maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. Obviously, they're all a little bit different, but I've been covering mostly Octa, SAFEMOON, Elongate, and Moonrat. But there's others out there. And I think this sort of moon coin wars that are going on are going to be won by the project or projects that can deliver on their roadmaps, meet their milestones, and stay in communication with their community. And of course, most importantly, show true utility and value in the project. Now, remember, guys, I'm not here giving financial advice to anyone. I'm just giving my financial opinion and sharing my journey with you. So please don't invest money in these projects that you can't afford to lose, because just like everything else in crypto, there's a risk of losing part or even all of your crypto. Preservation of capital is actually rule number one in investing. So let's jump into a short analysis of what's going on with Octans and, in my opinion, as to why the project has not maintained its previous high price points. And also what I think the project really has going for it. So, because on the surface, I mean, there's really a lot of great stuff going on here, guys. And in my opinion, the price drops over these past couple of weeks, they don't really make a lot of sense and they don't really reflect what's actually going on. So first, keep in mind that a lot of the crypto market overall is driven by emotion, mostly greed and fear in particular. Also news or lack of news, and then the perception about either the news that came out or the news that didn't come out. You know, there's a lot less emphasis with most people in crypto on actual technical analysis or fundamental analysis. So that's really a key factor, especially with these moon coins. And also, of course, with some of the low cap altcoins that people hope to invest in to get 100x return or 1000x return. So, you know, greed, I think, has been one of the key factors in the Octa project, in my opinion. But let me explain what I mean by that. So we've seen an interesting pattern happening with Octa in recent weeks. And in really simple terms, I'd call it a pattern of price pumping right before an AMA or some type of announcement or a new video drop or an OctaCast is what they started doing last week. And then dumping happening right as those events are taking place or shortly after. But that's really important to get that. It's happening right before or as those events are taking place or right after. So what does that mean? Well, the real truth is that nobody knows for sure what it means, but it looks to me like one of two things is happening, or maybe both. First, let's talk about greed. Now, people are seeing the pattern, and let me just jump on the chart here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So you can see, before their first AMA, there was a huge pump right during the AMA. It was literally going on right here in this section. The price dropped dramatically and then kept on going down. And then the same thing happened again last week on the 30th. There was a pump up and then boom, back down again. So, I mean, you can make of that whatever you want to make of it. And I'll get into price analysis here a little bit later on in the video. But, I mean, there are a lot of dedicated people in this organization, or in this community, I should say, not the organization itself. And I know there are that as well, the developers and the support people. But they're Octonauts and serious supporters of the project. They claim they're never going to sell no matter what. So that dedication is admirable. It's awesome. But is that the best strategy? I mean, if that's what you want to do, then of course it's the best strategy for you. But looking at the selling and rebuying activity that's been happening, you can also look at this as people taking profits, as you should in any market, but particularly in a frenzy-driven bull market like we've been in. So I can't really fault anyone for selling at a higher price, because that's the name of the game. But if there is some manipulation going on, now that's a different story. We can't really know for sure, but I'm really just trying to give you some things to think about. And to be clear, I am not promoting pump and dumps, okay? I'm not into it for that. That's not what I'm talking about. But the basic philosophy that I promote is sovereignty, or your freedom to make your own choices based on what works the best for you, as long as you're not hurting anyone else in the process. But just so you know, that's not my strategy. Like my strategy is not to dump coins at the top of the market. In fact, let me just show you. I am still holding the same amount of Octa as I started with. Actually, I have more, of course, because the continued growth through the staking. But now you can see there's 3 billion, 168 million, etc. And I'm sticking in it for at least long enough to see how these guys do with their growth plan. Because, and remember, this project just started just over a month ago. So this is where we are. Here we are a month later. So like I said, I'm still holding the same amount I started with. I think the project's got some great potential based on what they're telling us. But it hasn't really been around long enough for us to make really solid decisions. So unless you're in it just for a quick pump, in and out, dump, get out, I mean, more power to you if that's what you want to do, I guess. But I don't think that's a great way to support the project. And, you can see a lot of that going on. And again, I'll get into a little price analysis later. So let's talk about a few of the bullet points on the current status of the project. So, they did the AMA last Friday. They made some good announcements. So the biggest announcement was the development of what they're calling the Octaverse, which sounds like it's going to be kind of a central platform to be able to access a product marketplace where you'll be able to purchase products with your Octa. Yeah, social media, the announcements of special events and having special event, new content, talking about, any challenges that are coming up, and real-time updates on the latest with Octa. And on the financial utility side, they're working on some in-game relationships where you can use Octa to purchase your in-game upgrades. So you see that they posted this in the Telegram group. So you can see the Ultimate Gaming chairs, Ultimate Gaming Racing, Ultimate Gaming Racing wheels, gaming controllers, and then licensing products with Disney, Star Wars, DC Comics, Marvel, and then some intellectual property with PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, etc. So this is all kind of laid out here as well. I mean, you can just see the graphics of it, which all sounds great. It looks really great. And if it's real, it's going to be amazing and awesome for the project itself. They talked about NFTs. So they're developing 3 different lines of NFTs. And I'm not going to get into the specifics. You should probably watch the video. I'll drop a link down below. They're developing some 3D NFTs to very basic ones that are inspired by 8 and 16-bit games. They've discussed a platform for artists and designers to help tap into their creativity and have the ability to create NFTs and have a marketplace to deliver those through both purchase and auction. They are progressing with their audit with Certic, and they actually did announce today, since last Friday, they just announced, I noticed today on the Telegram group, that the preliminary audit is complete, which then clears the path for the complete audit to be done shortly. So they're also working on their marketing. And look, guys, that is really clear to me that they're working a lot on their marketing. They've got a social media director type person that's on the, working with them now. There's a lot of people that are both volunteers and I think also part of staff that are working in different areas, building relationships with influencers. And I have to say, they've definitely been keeping tight on their announcements on Telegram, discussions on Discord, including live modcasts with moderators from Telegram and Discord, answering questions and discussing the project. They're also creating a compensation package for influencers to help market the project. So it'll be interesting to see what develops there. The website, they say, is undergoing a complete redesign, which honestly, actually, I think the website looks great already. This is, where we started, and they haven't updated much of anything here yet. Yeah, I think they've got a great looking website. And, to be honest, I'm not sure what else they'll do. Obviously, they have to integrate some of these new things that they're putting out. So we'll have to, wait and see how they roll with that. So, again, if you haven't seen the AMA from last week, I'm dropping a link to the video down below in the description. And I would strongly encourage you to take a look at that and assess the situation for yourself. So to close out this section, I also just want to say something for the record. There have been a lot of people talking, I'll say complaining really, about the founders and developers not seeming confident or reading from scripts or their communication skills being less than adequate. I've got to say, I completely disagree with that. I'm pretty sure these comments are coming from primarily English-speaking people, and probably, I hate to say this, but probably Americans. And I'm American, look, guys. So, Americans are notorious for being super judgmental about people who don't speak English as well, which I find ironic for a lot of different reasons I won't get into. But again, I'm American, and I have to say, these guys communicate a lot better in English than I do in Portuguese or Russian or Spanish or whatever, different languages they speak, even though I have a little bit of a handle on Spanish. These guys are speaking English way, way better than I can speak any of their languages. So for them to make the effort in English, I think is admirable. And to judge the project based on the founders having accents or not having perfect command of the English language, well, it's silly to the point of being ridiculous. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I think these guys seem very sharp. I think they're getting better and better with every presentation that they make. And honestly, we're not here to support public speakers. We're here to support a project with technicians. So I personally think these guys are doing a great job. I totally support them 100% in taking this project to new levels. So I'm going to leave it at that. And then finally, let's just take a look quickly at price action and basic fundamentals to wrap things up. Okay. So here is the chart. We just took a look at it a little bit earlier. Even since I started this video, the price has gone down a little bit, but it's really interesting to see what's happening here. If we look on CoinGecko, go ahead and refresh this, and I think it's going to say we're back at 0. No, we're still at 7, so it's given us the benefit of the doubt. We're at 6,600, I guess we could call it. Obviously we peaked up here at around 35,000. So, there's been a significant price dump along the way here. But does that mean the project is dead? I don't think so, not at all. So if you're looking at this from a basic technical analysis perspective, we still have some support and resistance levels to consider here. So right here are previous low support levels. We're down here at the 2769-ish level, 2700 level, let's just call it that, right? We've never actually gone back down to that level at any time during this project. Not once, not ever. Now, obviously, we've tanked quite a bit from the peak price, but that happens, that's normal. That happens in these types of projects. Actually, it happens in a lot of projects. Even major altcoins do this. When they are released, there's a little bit of a pump, sometimes a drop, then a really big pump, and then it kind of settles things out. Now, what I'm seeing here, and this is, again, I'd have to really do a lot more analysis to really say definitively what's happening. But if you look at these candles, there's a lot of big wicks on either side. So there's kind of a battle going on between buying and selling. And it's been generally driving the price slowly downward. But again, if this thing was going to tank completely, in my opinion, again, not financial advice, just my financial opinion, in my opinion, we'd have seen the price already tank if it was really going to. So I think the price is going to come back. I'd like to see it go obviously to new highs and even higher. I'd love to see us knock off a couple of decimal points off the price, but that's what I'm seeing. What are you guys seeing? Those of you who know a little bit about technical analysis and chart analysis, let me know what your thoughts are. For the most part, over the last little while here, you've seen, since the 21st of April, when that first AMA happened, there hasn't really been a ton of volume one way or the other. There was one day. So back here on the 30th, the day they did that AMA, that's when that pump dump pattern happened that I was talking about. So, honestly, I think that right now the best strategy, at least my strategy, is going to be just to hold tight. It's just going to be patient and let these guys do their job. let this project progress. It's just barely even, not even a little bit more than a month old. So give it a chance. So that's my opinion. You guys tell me, what do you think? I'm pretty impressed with these guys so far, I got to be honest. And I'm not being overly optimistic, but I'm certainly not being pessimistic either. So what do you think? One thing I always like to say is I know I'm not necessarily the smartest guy in the room. And you can never learn anything by thinking that you are. So drop a comment down below. Let us know your opinion, because your opinion is just as valid as mine. And remember, if you like the content that I'm producing for you here, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you can be notified every time a new video drops. And it also helps the YouTube algorithm. It helps people to find us. It helps me to grow the channel. I appreciate the support you guys have given me so far. We're coming up on about 800 subscribers, which, in the scheme of things isn't a huge amount. But considering a couple months ago we started with 33 and I hadn't made a video in 3 years, I'm really happy with the results so far. So let's see if we can get 100 likes on this video. And I really want to push toward that 1,000 subscriber mark, because YouTube will treat the channel completely different at that point. But for now, guys, remember, crypto can get crazy, so stay fearless, stay smart, and always make the best decisions for you so you can build your legacy. This is Jeff, CC Mentor, your cryptocurrency coach and mentor, and I'm out. See ya.